Hello guys, welcome to Online Web Tutor presented by Profotech Solutions team. I am Sanjay. We are learning Laravel Admin Panel Development Beginners tutorial and this is our part number 30. Inside this video session guys, we will complete the delete functions for faculty as well as for the student data. And also guys, if you are a beginner to the channel, then please don't forget to subscribe and keep watching our previous video sessions to get the clear concept about Laravel Admin Panel Development tutorial. So far guys, we have completed about the delete functionality for all the sections of classes, all the sections for our list section, as well as in the last video session we had covered about types. Now rest two are left, something called list faculties and for the list students. So starting with faculties. So if I click on this list faculties, in our previous video session guys, this is the data listing that we have made about the Yajra box server side, where we have populated all the data dynamic from our table. So we want that when someone clicks on this delete button, we want to delete this record. So how can we achieve that? So back to editor. Inside this editor, this is our routes configuration file. Inside this routes list, we have called list faculties. This is all about the listing of data. It is using about faculty controller, and inside that controller we had a method called list faculties. So if I open called faculty controller, inside this controller, if I scroll down, this is all about list all faculties. Inside this we had made two buttons. First button is for the edit and the second button is for the delete. This is inside action buttons. So if I scroll here, if I press enter, now these are the two buttons, one for the edit and second one for the delete. So if I change the class name, let's say that btn faculty delete. So by the help of this class and with the attribute of this data id, by the help of these two, actually we will delete the specific record of our faculty. Next we have to open about the file, means our view file. So if I scroll up, this is something called list faculties. So back to resources folder. Inside this we have a file called list faculties. Basically inside this file actually we are listing all the faculties data. Now inside this file I'm going to write some of the JS code. By the help of Ajax call we will delete that record. So for the time being, for the time save, we have made several codes to our list sections as well as for the list faculty type. So I'm going to pick the code snippet from list section.play.php. This is the code we had done in our last video sessions. So if I copy this script code, copy that, go to our list faculties, close this file, and I'm going to paste the code here. Go at the top. Now here we have to replace about the class name. This is the jQuery library file guys, actually we have attached to remove the error of dollar symbol. So we need to replace this class. Go to faculty controller and what we have assigned the class name, something btn faculty delete. So if I copy this class name, go to list faculties.play.php and I'm going to replace with this class. While clicking on this delete button, we are firing a confirm pop-up box. It is asking for the security that we are going to delete or not. So if I press OK, it means that it will return the true value. After getting true value, it will take the ID, means the attribute data ID. After getting this ID, it will make a post data in which we are storing two variables, two properties called token, and the second is delete ID. By the help of this delete ID property, we are going to delete that record. Now we have to change or we have to make the delete route. So this is all about delete faculty. So if I copy this delete faculty, go to web.php, I'm going to make one more route. It should be post, and let's say that instead of save faculty, let's say that delete faculty. It is using the same controller. Inside this controller we will make a method called delete faculty. Scroll here, all we need to change about the named route. This is the named route name parameter we are using inside this file. So if I copy this method name, go to our faculty controller. Inside this controller, if I scroll down, and let's say that public function, and this is all about delete faculty as a method. Inside this method I'm going to pass a request object so that we will access about the delete ID we are getting from this Ajax request. Again, to save our time, I'm going to open a controller. So let me open about, let's say, faculty type controller. It is also, we had did the code of delete. Scroll down, and this is all about the delete code. So if I copy this code, go to our faculty controller, I'm going to paste inside this delete faculty block. Close this file. Let me make some formatting, go up, and what actually basically this code is, we are getting the delete ID by this request object. This delete ID we are sending from this Ajax request right here. After getting this delete ID, we are searching this delete inside our faculty controller, and if I copy this faculty model, go here, and I'm going to replace with this faculty type. If I press inside by control faculty, it is using TBL faculties. So we are going to delete our record from this table with the help of ID. So by getting delete ID, we are searching the record inside this table. If it finds any data, so let's say faculty data, by getting the values inside this faculty data, we are checking about that ID is here. It means that we have record. After getting that record, we are deleting this data. After deleting, if we want to show some message, so let's say that faculty type deleted successfully. Right now we are not showing this confirmation box, only we need to show, or we have seen about only the confirmation box that are you sure want to delete. Okay, so if I save this file, go to administrator panel, reload this page, and if I press and let's say copy, if I copy this email ID, let me search inside this box, this record exists as we can see, but after deleting, so if I press delete, okay, reloaded itself, and again if I search this ID does not exist. It means that we have successfully deleted that record. So list faculties guys, we have completed about the delete functionality. Now we are going to start with the delete student. So open up list students. Again, inside this listing, this delete function is not working, so we have to make it working. So go to our editor. If I close all these files first, go to web.php, and the route that we are using to list all the students is something called, if I go again, list students. So we are using this route. After getting this route, it is using student controller. So if I open student controller, inside this controller, what we have a method is called list students. Go to that method, inside this method, and this is list all students. So inside this method we have made two buttons, one for the edit and one for the delete. Same procedures guys, we have what we have repeated for sections, classes, faculty type and faculties. Same procedure we have to make for the student controller. So here we have to rename the class, and something, it should be btn, let's say class, or it should be student delete. In the same procedure we have to provide it data ID. By the help of these two things we are going to delete that. Next we have to open about the view file. So what view file we are using something called list students. So go to resources folder, inside views folder, and we have a file something called liststudents.play.php. Scroll down, again we have to copy the code snippet from our previous files, and I'm going to paste inside this list students. So go to list faculties, scroll down, and this is the code snippet. So if I copy this code, close this file, go to our play.php file, and I'm going to paste it here. Again we need to replace some of the minor things. First of all, we need to replace about the class name, because class name is the main important part of our delete section. So let me copy the class name, btn student delete, copy that, go to this file and replace with this. After replacing that, we need to also replace about the delete, means this is a route. So this will be something delete student. Copy this named route, go to web.php, and we have to make one more route inside this student routes, and this should be post, and let's say that delete student. It will be using about the same controller, and we have a method inside that called list student. If I scroll here, only we need to change about the name parameter. Again we have to make the method delete student inside this student controller. So if I go again, For the code reference inside this faculty controller, go at the bottom. If I copy all the codes of this delete faculty, so I'm going to copy and go to student controller, scroll down, and I'm going to paste it here. All we need to replace some of the minor things again, and first of all we have to change about the method name. So this should be about delete student, not delete faculty. Now all we have done with our method name. Next we have to replace about the model. So this is the model we are using for the storing of student data. So we are going to delete that record, any of the student record from this student table by the help of this ID, and this ID actually we are sending from our HTML file. Go here and let's say that this is student data. Now after getting this data, we are checking that it has a ID parameter or not. It means that if it will find ID, it means that we have record. After getting that record, we are deleting that. And for the message, let's say that student deleted successfully. So copy that. Again go here and replace here. And I think that inside faculty controller again we have to replace actually here also. So faculty type. Okay, so if I close this faculty controller and also with this student controller, all we have done now. So if I save this file and also with the JavaScript code, all we have done here. So close all these two files, and if I reload this page, press any delete button. So before delete, if I copy any of the email ID, let me search here, and this record exists. So get rid of that. If I click on this delete button, it is asking as a confirmation. If I press OK or if I press cancel, it will not delete that record. But if I press OK, it will delete and reload that page. So if I search for that ID does not exist. It means that we have deleted that student successfully. So basically guys, by the help of this video session, we understood about delete functionality for our faculties and for the students data. So inside this video session guys, if you have any query, then please drop your comment. I will give my reply as soon as possible. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day.